Hey guys, Tom here at DraftMagic.com. We've got some more two-man queue action with the new LOL Armor Reborn deck. Very excited to be playing it and just can't wait to get back into some tournaments here. Okay, gonna be on the draw. I'm very happy this opening hand. One of the nice things also about the deck that's changed since the last incarnation of it, we have a couple more creatures, so we have a couple more ways of actually winning the match if we don't connect with Geist. And I think that, just by adding some more value creatures in terms of Restoration Angel, Thragtusk, and Dungeon Geists, really does help to kind of shore up some of the weaknesses that the deck had before. Okay, so most likely up against Esper Superfriends here. Can be expecting probably quite a few Planeswalkers. And definitely going to be bringing in Rest in Peace from the board, because they get a lot of their power from abusing the graveyard. Hey guys, this is Tom with... Alright, so here we're just going to sit and then Angel end of turn and start getting in. Alright, so now we'll just Angel in response. I guess we had Angel end of turn on his turn, but then he can potentially counter it. And this way at least we get like Verdict out of the way. I think we'll just sneak an Angel in real quick. So now we just really want to stick a creature, hoping not to get milled out here. Unfortunately, one of the weaknesses is we do only have 15 creatures in the deck, so game one against this type of opponent can be a little rough. And he's happy to just counterlock us out here. So we've lost a couple creatures here. And it is certainly possible we could just get knocked out here to 2 Drown Yard, which would be a little awkward. So here probably comes the first counter. And I don't think he cares too much about this because he's most likely just planning to verdict on his turn. But I love Rootborn Defense. This has just been so good for me. Now that we have some actual traction, we're going to try to take it home. So kind of do feel bad about dropping the earlier ethereal armor, but I wanted to keep the detention spheres up just in case he had like a planeswalker or something like that. Here I think he's just going to go for it again. And if he doesn't have the counter, we don't really care. So I guess there's the dissipate, unfortunately. That was a very, very lucky pull, and hopefully we can sneak around the counter magic here. Could be a little suspect dropping Rancor right now, just because he could have like negate, although if he had, or not negate, but syncopate, although if he had it, he would have cast it already, so. Although actually, never mind, he wouldn't, because we had 3 mana up. Yeah, so we probably should have held Rancor to the next turn. And hopefully we're able to close this one out on the back of Thragtusk. So I think here it's a little dicey. I mean, he's 11. He's already used 2 verdicts. I think we have to assume he has single targeted removal at this point. So like if he has a verdict or a terminus, he just gets us. But I think it's worth going for it for Geists to try to push him down. It is a little bit of a gamble, I'd realize, but Especially if he has like another ultimate price, we will just lose to getting decked. This is kind of the last stand here, trying to make it work. And there's Terminus. That's unfortunate. So I mean, it was kind of a gamble. I mean, he definitely had access to like Terminus and things like that. But if he didn't have the Terminus or the Verdict and had more like ultimate prices, we could have just been essentially stalled out. So I think it was probably still the right move, based on how many cards we've got left in our deck. Now we are almost certainly dead. Curse of Death's Hold, sure. Let's see, so next turn we lose 12. Don't think we can actually win this game. I don't think we want to show him at Attention Spheres. Yeah. Okay, so up against this guy, Reborn defenses are huge. Let's see. Do we want to cut? Problem is, we definitely want to bring in Rest in Peace, but Rest in Peace and Rancor are not a combo, which is just a little unfortunate. Bring in Curse of Echoes, negate, Attention Sphere. Guess we cut Rancor. I feel like Rancor is better than Armor here. He doesn't really have creatures, and Rancor, like when it's good, it's good. But they're probably both somewhat subpar. I'm not sure how good Spectral Flight is either. I think it definitely shortens the clock, but we already have somewhat of a clock here. Not 100% on what we want to cut. I think we actually cut Flight. Didn't see any creatures out of him, and maybe cut like Flight and then probably shave a land. I'll bring in Thragtusk for sure. I think we just... Do we cut Rancor? Maybe go like that. Yeah, I think I want to run it like that. Just board out the enchantments and kind of go more this direction. Okay, gonna be on the play. This hand is just fine. We'll see if we can get some early aggression, Stalker, or try to resolve Rest in Peace right away. I think we actually, to play around Syncopate, we actually want to take 2 damage here, save Cavern for Beast, and then drop Rest in Peace. So he's probably wondering what the hell we're doing, taking damage here for Temple Garden, but I think that's how we want to go. So hopefully Rest in Peace sticks. That'll definitely shut down some of his long game. Here I think we are going to need to name Spirit, actually, to get our Dungeon Geists out there. So I think here we do want to chance it a little bit, drop down Geists. It's a little bit of a bold move because he could just wipe the board, but then if we can get one turn opening, we can essentially ride this to victory. And I mean, Dungeon Geists is not as strong as like some of the other cards we could play here. So if we had, I mean, later on, if we have Geist. So hopefully he doesn't Wrath, and there's no double white, so we're happy to see that. And then just take this home, hopefully. So now he's going to need a Miracle Terminus to get out of this one. There's the Supreme Verdict right on time, or Jace, sure. And we can just totally circumvent him. I think we're just actually just gonna take a turn to just put him out of his misery. And then leave mana open for Reborn defenses. Actually, we could just Thragtusk here, but that's very, very dicey. Well, don't have enough for defenses then. Ugh, this is kind of ugly. So if we Thragtusk, we're kind of hedging a little bit to have something left. Otherwise, we would leave defenses up, and we bring Jace down to 1. I think we just bring Jace down to 1. And then leave defenses up. This way he has to have Terminus to get out of it. And then if he goes Terminus, we can drop Thragtusk. And there's the Terminus, unfortunately. Okay. I wasn't sure what was better. Okay, so now at this point we got to drop Thragtusk, and then next turn we can just go ahead and get rid of that with Detention Sphere. So I guess he's got double Jace. Hopefully now he goes for the Supreme Verdict. So now he's set up to counter Thragtusk. We could either sit. I don't think sitting really gets us anywhere though. I guess he can just counter Thragtusk and then get our beast out of the way. Not sure what the better play is here. Probably just going for Thragtusk. And here's Revelation. Yuck. Yeah, probably should have saved it for Revelation, especially if we could have just defenses. It's hard to know though. It's just hard to know what to use our spells on. Because now he goes Terminus. Or he's got Verdict. So now we can just Reborn defenses regardless end of turn and try to start racing. Don't care too much about Jace. Tamiyo's another problem though. So here I'm kind of tempted to just make 2 beasts and then take out his 2 planeswalkers, and I think it's probably right. But then we don't have access to deal with his... Yeah, I think it's worth it though. So let's see, if we bring him to 5. Take out Tamiyo. I think we just need to hedge here and kill a Planeswalker, because we give him an extra turn, but I mean, leaving Planeswalkers up, in my experience, has just been the worst thing in the world. So with 38 cards, it's probably safer to leave Jace under a detention sphere. So I mean, now any of his wraths just takes us out, but we did definitely get rid of 2 planeswalkers though. Yep. At this point, probably losing, but this is definitely a very hard match. Could kind of go either way on playing Farseek here, just because he has the double drown yard. And he's certainly going to be trying to just mill us out here. I think that increasing our odds of drawing a good card is not quite as good as giving ourselves an extra card for drown yard. Although I guess we'd have to be at like 34 for that to be right, so... Whoops, he's got Curse of Death's Hold, that's awkward. Probably can't win at this point. this game's over. Okay, so kind of a tough matchup there against Esper Superfriends. In terms of how to board there, like we definitely do want to bring in Cursive Echoes, Thragtusk, Rest in Peace is still great. Negate. So Tension Sphere, defenses. Yeah, I mean it's just not a pretty matchup basically. Well, okay, looking back after having played against Esper Superfriends, I kind of revised how I want to board against him. And basically, in that matchup, the long game will always favor them. With that in mind, I think we want to take the Geists out, the Angel out, Revelation out. I mean, they're winning those Revelation fights anyways. And then cut out Flight, since they don't really have creatures. Leave in Armor and Rancor, just because I think of Rancor more of just a +2/+0 on a creature. I mean, if it stays around, great. If not, it's also okay. And then we're bringing in more or less our entire sideboard minus the Supreme Verdicts and the pacifisms. So essentially, you bring in everything else here. And then kind of the game plan is basically just drop a threat, whether it's a Stalker or a Geist, and then just stuff on as much possible pump effects as we can. Once we've got that going, use Rest in Peace to control their yard, and use Negate for Terminus and Reborn Defenses for Supreme Verdict, and take that to victory. And then have Thragtusk as kind of the backup plan in case they wipe our board. So I think that's a much more effective game plan against Esper Superfriends after having done a match. So anyways, we'll see you guys next time.